Sapp, they have a job to do today. They got Matt Leinart back there. They can't let him get comfortable. They need to put pressure upfield.
All right, on the offensive end of things, they have struggled with second-year quarterback Andrew Walter.
You know, a long time ago, my mother told me if you have nothing good to say about somebody, don't say anything at all. So I'll just leave it at that.
They are ready for football here on this gorgeous Sunday early afternoon in Oakland, California.
That Raider
Denny
Nation
Green.
looks like they're ready too, man.
Well, Denny Green, after that tough loss on Monday, Tuesday he fired his offensive coordinator, Keith Rowan, replaced him with the quarterback's coach in Mike Kruzik.
Yeah, you know, Mike came in. We spoke with him yesterday. He's all fired up. And it seemed like the players also. It seemed like Matt Leinart was excited about having him in there and changing things a little bit.
Kruzik spent 19 years at the University of Central Florida. The connection to Denny Green, he coached today, and he believes, as you said in the open, hey, my defense has played well enough to win, but they got to get that offense going. You
know, having played for the Raiders, he knows what it is and what you need to go and win. They just haven't gotten it together here on the Raiders. He's doing everything he could possibly do to find a way to get a win for this team.
You have been in a situation before,
right,
when you were in Indianapolis where you won just one game. What is going on inside the locker room?
You know, the toughest thing as a player is just keep doing your job. A lot of the players think they have to do more than just their job. Let me go and try and help the guy next to me. Let me help this guy. That's when the wheels really fall off a team. That's not where these Raiders want to go. Just worry about what you have to do. Go out there and things will change.
Warren Sapp told us yesterday, just take care of the guy right across from you. Win that battle.
Well, that's a guy who's really hurting, coming from the Super Bowl to now not winning a game. I mean, when you go to the Super Bowl and you know what it is to win, it's hard to go out there, go to practice, go through everything, and not win games. And that's a guy right there who is striving to go and get a win today.
The Arizona Cardinals losing a tough one. And the big question is, how will they come out and perform? And they all told us, hey, listen, we're moving on. We're ready. We can win out. However, to say that and do that is certainly a different thing. Oakland has won the toss, and Oakland will receive. Chris Carr is back for Oakland. And Neil Rackers is getting set to kick off here. Of course, Rackers missed a field goal to win it on Monday night, and 2 weeks ago against Kansas City at home missed a field goal to tie the game and had Leinart's first start. So we're set now here on this gorgeous early Sunday afternoon in Oakland, California.
That's always a problem when that ball falls off the tee. I mean, those kickers, they squeeze the ball, they massage it, they move it all around. They do all kinds of crazy things. You never know what it's going to do when it gets on the tee there. And looks like it just fell over.
So we'll get set once again. Carr takes it 5 yards deep in his own end zone. Carr bringing it out. And he is stopped at the 22-yard line. And how important is it for this Oakland Raiders offense to start clicking early, Goose?
They need to. They need to establish the run. That offensive line needs to go, especially against this defense that played so well. These guys are going to come out here fired up, using momentum that they got last week off that Chicago game. And they want to put some pressure on Walters today.
Andrew Walter in his second year out of Arizona State. This is his fourth consecutive start for the injured Aaron Brooks. Hooks up with Alvis Whitted. Quick drop. And he finds Whitted. And Gerald Hayes, who leads Arizona in tackles, is there on the stop. In talking to the Oakland Raiders, one of the things that they wanted to do early on to get Andrew Walter some confidence is to look in that short zone area.
Yeah, they need to establish a run here early. I mean, they got to get that offensive line downhill and not give these guys a chance to go and get something started.
Lee. And the screen pass is broken up. Andrew Walter has thrown 7 interceptions. He's turned it over 11 times, and it's a tough situation to be in when you think you're going to be the backup, you're going to be learning, and then all of a sudden, Goose, you're thrust into action.
You know, turnovers is a tough thing. You got to look at a guy right there, Randy Moss. Last week, they tried to go and press him a little bit too much. He was in double and triple coverage. You know, he's got to go, Andrew Walter, just calm down here, look throughout the whole board there, find different receivers, and not just go to Randy Moss every down.
3rd and 4 for the Raiders. Flag on the play. And Walter throws it out of bounds.
That was a great job by Jake Grove. You know, when you see them defensive guys going across the line of scrimmage, you got to snap the ball, and we'll find out if that's what it was right here.
Offside. Defense number 94. 5-yard penalty. Result, first down.
You know, a guy, Andrew Walter, has to take this opportunity. You know, when he goes and gets that flag and the defense is offsides, they need to go and take a shot downfield and try to get some points out of it or get a first down. That's a free play right there for the offense.
So a first down now for the Oakland Raiders. Lamont Jordan on the handoff, cuts back through the middle, and he is finally brought down as Robert Griffith comes up, the veteran out of San Diego State. Is Zach Crockett, the veteran.
Nice job getting a lot of pressure up here as a defensive line, but he just finds that hole, makes a nice cut. You just got to lower that shoulder down and start running people over. Sometimes avoiding defensive guys, you get that angle. You want to run them over.
I mentioned Lamont Jordan. Jordan actually was experiencing some back pains. And so Zach Crockett is running in the backfield, and Crockett in his 12th season out of Florida State. On the handoff once again.
Zach Crockett is no stranger to that backfield. He can play anything, fullback, running back, and there's that offensive line right there that he needs to run behind. He is another lineman back there. He's a big guy, Zach Crockett, and these guys got to go and open some holes for him.
Take a look at the backs. Zach Crockett getting the start for Lamont Jordan. Randy Moss has just 2 touchdown catches, both in the second quarter. Flushed out of the pocket. Walter looking downfield, and he'll hurry up and get out of bounds. Chased out of bounds by Carlos Dansby. The Arizona Cardinals up front. They were spectacular on Monday night against the Bears, Goose.
Yeah, and here's that defensive line right there. They need to put the pressure on Andrew Walter, who's not really comfortable in that pocket, but when he does scramble, they got to chase him down.
Linebacking core, Orlando Huff, Gerald Hayes in the middle. Carlos Dansby is near 100%. And Denny Green said, I expect a big day out of him. Robert Griffith, the veteran there, and Andrew Wilson, he is one big-time player.
Adrian Wilson, he's got my Pro Bowl vote so far. He's a player.
And a flag. So the Oakland Raiders able to move the ball here early on in the first quarter.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Bill Vinovich, the referee in his 6th year. And let's go down to L.A. and Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, man, a great finish out at Arrowhead. Lawrence Tynes from 53 yards out. It would be his career best. It is. The Chiefs top the Chargers 30-27. Back to Matt and the Goose.
All right, thank you very much. Goose up here.
It's amazing how those kickers can determine wins and losses. They're at the end of the game.
Arizona knows all about that under pressure. Some time for Walter. Floats it out. And caught by Ronald Curry, the former Tar Heel. Walter told us yesterday, Goose, that he felt as though He needed to find Ronald Curry a little bit more.
Well, Andrew Walter has to go and find different receivers other than Randy Moss. He does a nice job right here. They're running his zone, gets his feet down. The more he spreads the ball around to different receivers, the more he'll find guys open.
A pickup of 19 yards into Cardinal territory. The pitch, fumble. Carlos Dansby is there, and a turnover.
This is not what the Raiders want, a turnover this early in the game.
They were moving the ball after a 19-yard reception by Ronald Curry. The veteran Zach Crockett turns it over. A turnover by the Oakland Raiders, and now the Arizona Cardinals with the football. And on Monday night, the defense of Arizona turned over Chicago 6 times, but they only converted 13 points off of that.
You know, turnovers are one thing, but you got to go and you got to score points when the defense puts you in a position like that.
Matt Leinart, his 3rd NFL start, in his first one against Kansas City, completed his first 6 passes, and against Chicago on Monday night, his first 7, and that one is incomplete.
He likes that shotgun, and that's what they start him out in right there.
Yeah, Matt Leinart, you mentioned it in the open. He has got it. Talking to Obafemi Badejo, he told us, hey, he's just that guy.
You know, and it just bleeds not only through the offense, and we mentioned it earlier, through the defense. I mean, a guy like that just makes the whole team excited about playing.
After 2 starts, he's tied with Pro Bowler Matt Hasselbeck for the most first-quarter touchdowns. In the seam, he finds a receiver. Cutting back, and Troy Walters in his 7th season out of Stanford with the reception.
You know, Matt just goes and stays in that pocket, very confident. Offensive line does a nice job right over the middle. His offensive line does a nice job of opening up lanes so Matt can see downfield and find those receivers.
A pickup goose at 24 yards. Leinart under center. The give to Edgerrin James. James last week, 36 carries and 55 yards. Tommy Kelly on the stop.
This is an offensive line who's gotten a lot of criticism with the run game and Edgerrin James, but they got to do a lot better in that run game today.
Leonard Davis, former #1 pick. You see the running back and receivers. Anquan Bolden, a standout. They do not have Larry Fitzgerald. Danny Green told us possibly in Green Bay next Sunday. He's out with a hamstring injury. This is play action. Incomplete to Bryant Johnson, and Stuart Schweigert is on the scene. Let's take a look at this defense. That up front, you got Big Warren Sapp.
There they go. Derek Burgess, Tommy Kelly, Warren Sapp. These guys don't want any rookie winning a game against them, and they're going to do whatever it takes to go and put some pressure on them.
Linebacking core, Sam Williams, Kirk Morrison, and the rookie out of UTEP, Thomas Howard. 3 first-round draft picks, including Michael Huff in the secondary, who was chosen over Matt Leinart. Out of the shotgun, 3rd and long. Dumps it off. And the Raider defense comes up, makes the stop. And here comes Neil Rackers.
Trying to get the ball to Edgerrin James on that, but the defensive line does a nice job of coming back and making the tackle. Here we go, Rackers. He's going to get a chance to redeem himself.
As a teammate, you have a field goal kicker like Neil Rackers. What do you say?
You just leave those guys alone. You don't even talk to them when they're in a slump like this. Let's see what he does now.
It is up. And no good. It is in his head.
It's tough for those guys to get out of his slump, but no, he better start working at this on the sideline, and he's going to get some more opportunities to redeem himself.
49-yarder that would have given the Cardinals a lead, and also they would have been able to take advantage of a Raider turnover. They did not. Walter connects with his big tight end, Courtney Anderson.
Number 83, Courtney Anderson.
You know, Andrew Walter does a good job of staying in the pocket. His offensive line is giving him time back there. If you watch these guys, they got 5 rushers sitting back right in there, very comfortable, finds his receiver. Got a lot of guys. Moss drew a lot of guys right there.
Run off to the left side, Justin Fargas. And a flag on the play, Goose. Justin Fargas was injured against Denver last Sunday night, dislocated his left shoulder. Practiced on Thursday and Friday and able to go. Lamont Jordan was slowed throughout the week with lower back pains.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both by the offense. Personal foul, face mask, number 86. The penalties declined. Personal foul, face mask, number 76. 15-yard penalty, repeat first down.
2 face masks in 1 play. I mean, this is just typical Raider ball. You cannot go and have these dumb penalties and put your offense in a tough position to go and make a first down. I mean, it seems like when they get something going good, they find somehow, some way to go and, you know, stub their toe and put themselves behind the 8 ball.
Goose against the Denver Broncos, 13 penalties, 8 false starts. Already with 3 for 25 yards. You saw moments ago Lamont Jordan trying to stretch out that back. Fargas in the backfield. Fargas, former Trojan running back, spins around and he is brought down by Gerald Hayes. Let's send it down to LA once again, and Chris Rose. Chris?
All right, Matt, let's call it the Steve Hutchinson Bowl going on up in Seattle. Of course, the former Seahawks Pro Bowl guard, back in the Emerald City, but watching his old offense do some work. Matt Hasselbeck, Darrell Jackson, longest pass play for the Seahawks this season, 72 yards. They're up 7-3. Back to Matt and the Goose.
All right, thank you very much, Chris. That's the 5th touchdown in the first quarter from Matt Hasselbeck to the near side. And the pass intended for Randall Williams, and he is ruled out of bounds. And that'll bring up 3rd and 21 for the Raiders.
You know, Justin Vargas getting an opportunity. It's funny, as a player, you never know when the guy in front of you is going to go down, and you're going to go in there, and you got to be prepared. You got to work all week like you're going to start, no matter if you're starting or if you're not. Right here, Andrew Walter just sitting back there. Throwing a nice ball. I'll tell you what, he's doing a nice job today. So this should have been a catch, it looks like.
Under pressure. Escapes. Connects to Randy Moss for the first down. An unbelievable job by Andrew Walter, who's not known for his mobility, Goose, to escape the pressure. Gets flushed out and then hooks up with Randy Moss. 32-yard reception.
Well, when you don't win 5 games and you're looking for a win, you do whatever it takes. And right there, Andrew Walter does a nice job of escaping and getting downfield to one of his receivers.
On 1st and 10. Fargas is bottled up. Adrian Wilson came up to make the stop. Wilson already with 4 sacks and 2 interceptions this season.
You know, you play in the league and you play with guys who deserve to be in the Pro Bowl and get a lot of pub. And just because you're not winning or what team it is that you're with, the guy doesn't get exposure. But everybody on the team talking, to all the guys that play with.
Alvis with it on the reception and a flag on the play.
If Adrian Wilson says this guy deserves to at least get a mention for the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, Robert Griffith, we were talking to him yesterday, and he said, listen, he's got it all.
Offense number 83.
There they go.
Moving forward at the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Courtney Anderson and Goose, another penalty.
I mean, it's just funny how they just keep going and doing these stupid penalties. I mean, this is just a lack of concentration. It's the little things like this that coaches just go and harp on in team meetings and just can't stand.
2nd and 13. Richard Lee, the lone back. 3 wide receiver set. Walter drops back, looks over the middle, and miscommunication. He had Alvis Whitted running toward the middle of the field, and he was throwing toward the corner. And that'll bring up now 3rd and 13. And you take a look at the Raiders offense and how much better you think they would be even if they had an Aaron Brooks.
Man, you need to just go in there, you know, if you're the Raiders offense, and try different things, gadget plays, anything. Just move the ball around. Right now, you know, they're doing a good job right here of moving the ball a little bit. You can't go and get those penalties now.
Tom Walsh, the offensive coordinator. Walter on the near side. Curry, and Curry out of bounds as Carlos Dansby is there.
You know, we talked about this Cardinal defense and coming out strong and hard in the beginning. These guys need to get some pressure up front. I mean, Andrew Walter standing back there, nobody in his face, having all day to throw. I mean, anybody can sit back there, a quarterback, and just, you know, and play like you're playing back at the schoolyard. You got to go and get something up in his face. They got to come with a blitz, and then defensive linemen need to go and move a little bit on those big offensive linemen of the Raiders.
Oakland averages only 10 points a game. Justin Fargas gets outside. Justin Fargas down to the 3-yard line. Now that's where the Raiders really like Fargas, getting him outside the tackles.
You know, they got those big bodies up there, and you watch Vargas right here moving to the outside. I mean, awesome job by Richard Lee getting that lead block, and then he just, you know, sometimes you just can't control your body, and you try to get that touchdown, but it's not easy. A little off balance right there, and that was a pretty cool move he had.
The Raiders are in striking zone. First and goal to go. The Raiders offense has been able to move the ball against the Cardinals D, and Chad Slaughter checks in, and he is an eligible receiver. The give. No signal yet. And Zach Crockett is stopped short, and a good job by the front of Arizona.
78, court's eligible. 78.
There it is, right up the middle. Zach Crockett looks like he slipped a little bit. That was close. He was right on the line, following his blockers. Got a little bit too low. On the goal line, you want to stay low on offense and defense. The lowest guy is going to win.
Richard Lee and Zach Crockett in the backfield. Walter keeps it, waiting for the signal, and the Cardinals are saying no. He was denied. And that'll bring up 3rd down now, Goose.
You know, we heard it all week. Andrew Walter, he's a tall guy. He's got to get low. You see him right here. He needs to go and take his time and find that space. Now, you got to stretch out there and put that ball over, expose it a little bit.
You got to like what that front's doing.
They're getting the push up front.
Raiders on the board.
That's why Al Davis loves those athletic guys there. Be able to leap, jump. I mean, every guy, that Richard Lee, I mean, that was a nice job of him going and leaping right over. I mean, everybody trying to stay low. He comes right over the top. You got to get a linebacker to match up on a guy like that. These linebackers right here are keying on Richard. Get that jump. That's why as a defensive lineman, you want to get low and take those offensive linemen out of it and clear it for the defense of backs.
Richard Lee in his 3rd year out of Middle Tennessee State in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Sebastian Janikowski on for the extra point. The Oakland Raiders are on the board. They lead the Arizona Cardinals 7-0 here in the first quarter. Touchdown, and of course he's playing for Lamont Jordan, who's still trying to get loose. Trying to get that lower back.
These guys are doing a great job of rotating. I'll tell you, as a defensive lineman, you try to prepare for, Lamont Jordan. All of a sudden, you're getting Rashard Lee, Zach Crockett, Justin Vargas. All these guys have different areas of where they excel in.
Janikowski kicks it to J.J. Arrington. Arrington gets it across the 25 before he is brought down. Scoring team in the first quarter in the NFL with 59 points, but Warren Sapp told us yesterday that the Raiders haven't shown the ability to come back, so it's important for the Raiders to stop them early and get a lead, and they've done that.
They know that.
Leinart from his own 28. The give to Edgerrin James. James gets into the secondary before Stuart Schweigert, in his third year out of Purdue, makes the stop.
Well, all the criticism that offensive line for the Cardinals has had over the last 3 or 4 weeks right here, Edgerrin James, he needs to get on the same page with this offensive line. They do a good job of going and getting to the second level. Edgerrin does a good job of opening his eyes. He needs to adapt to the way this offensive line blocks.
Second and short. Leinart makes a check at the line. Intercepted. Turdell Sands. Deflected by Derek Burgess.
This is exactly what that defensive line wants to do, get turnovers. As a defensive line, you are taught, and I know Rob Ryan teaches his defensive line this, if you're back there and you're not getting that pass rush, to get your hands up. Watch these guys right here. The offensive line does a good job of stopping him. He's getting double teamed. Get your hands up, tip that ball, and make sure you have your eyes open, because big guys don't get big opportunities or a lot of opportunities to go and catch that ball.
Turdell Sands out of Tennessee, Chattanooga. You see Leonard Polk, the big rookie tight end out of Georgia, being helped off. And so the third interception thrown by Matt Leinart. And Walter brings the Raiders up to the line with Justin Vargas in the backfield. Play action. Walter looks to the end zone. Touchdown, Randy Moss and the Raiders. Quick strike by Andrew Walter. And he is feeling awfully confident right now.
That's what happens on a turnover. You have that momentum. The Raiders snatched it, went for the end zone on the first play. That just kills the defense when they go right from getting that turnover to scoring.
So much for the ineffective offense. The third touchdown reception this season for Randy Moss, set up by the interception. Turdell Sands, 32-yard strike. Janikowski. A 14-0 lead for the Hall of Famer Art Shell and his Oakland Raiders, looking for their first win of the season. Not what we expected early.
Let's take a look at that touchdown play right here. The offensive line for the Raiders does a good job with protection. They're only rushing 4 guys. Randy Moss right here is going to come across the whole formation, and this safety right here is going to bite on something else. You don't leave Randy Moss wide open. Andrew Walter lofts the ball up there where Randy Moss can go and do what he does best, is go up and get that ball, finds himself in the end zone. 7 points for the Oakland Raiders.
Short kick, picked up, fumble. Raiders saying they have it. The Cardinals digging for it underneath. It is Cardinals football after the short kick. And Goose, one of the things that all the players that we met with yesterday said, hey, listen, we're moving on. We're moving on. On Monday night, we lost to the Chicago Bears, but we need to move on as Fred Wakefield loses it. And then A.J. Shabel was able to jump on it, the rookie out of South Dakota. But one guy at the end of it said, hey, honestly, you know what? Bertrand Berry said that it's a little bit of a hangover from Monday night.
Yeah, it's tough to go and shake it off, especially when you get beat that way. And, you know, it's just a tough thing. You got to shake it off and move on.
They haven't been able to as of yet. 3 wide receivers set. Edgerrin James picks up 3. And Kirk Morrison is there on the tackle. Let's send it down to L.A. and Chris Rose. Chris, what do you have for us?
Matt, the Falcons and Steelers combined for almost 900 yards, 9 TD tosses, and it's decided by a guy who wears a leather helmet to work. 46-year-old Morton Anderson true from 32, and the Falcons win it in overtime. Back to Matt.
Matt Devlin, Tony Siragusa. The Raiders have come out and opened up a 14-0 lead, and Matt Leinart has to work from behind early. Under pressure, brought down Derek Burgess. Burgess with 16 sacks last season. That's his 4th sack this season.
Now, Derek Burgess is just a guy you better know where he is at all times on that defensive line. You see him right here on the outside, lined up on a tight end. Nice inside move. You better put 2 guys on that guy. He's the sacker of this Raider defense.
Burgess, they say, you know, doesn't talk much, but he's extremely demanding on everybody that he plays with.
You don't have to talk when you get 16 sacks in a season.
You just do, right?
You just bring the film around with you and show everybody what you've done.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalties. Still 3rd down.
Well, this crowd is really getting into it, and you know, being a factor here, you got to get those plays in. You got to get to the line of scrimmage. You know, Matt Leinart, these are the rookie things that you see that we haven't seen out of Matt Leinart yet.
Raiders and their prideful Raider Nation, they're 0-5, but they've sold out McAfee Coliseum. Leinart in his first 2 starts in the first quarter, 14 of 16, 4 touchdowns. He is 2 of 5, 1 interception and 1 sack. It's 3rd and 22. Leinart to the near side and through the fingertips of Anquan Bolden. And they'll be forced to punt. Scott Player and Warren Sapp, he's pumped up.
You know, Warren is watching Derek Burgess out there getting sacks. He wants some himself. Those big guys in the middle are doing a good job of staying in their lanes and making it hard for Matt Leinart to go and just make those short passes, getting their hands up. We saw tip balls.
Carr at the 28, stutter set move on the outside, gets free into Cardinal territory, spins away from Player before the punter brings him down at the 35-yard line. And a short field now for the Oakland Raiders to work with.
I don't know. You know, they got rid of their offensive coordinator, but if I was the special teams coach, I wouldn't be so happy to get back and see that head coach, because, you know, Gary Zauner, they've had some big letdowns in the last couple weeks.
Obafemi Ayambajejo, what did he tell us in the meeting? He said, listen, we meant together, special teams, we need to get it together after Devin Hester had that 83-yard return for a touchdown on Monday night against the Bears. Zach Crockett, Rashard Lee. Andrew Walter looking for Randy Moss. Oh. It was right there. Antrell Roll was on the coverage, and Moss was unable to reel it in.
You know, Randy Moss on this play needs to make this catch. He's inbounds by far. The ball goes right through his hands. He was wide open. You're not going to see that very often from Randy Moss, but when he gets those opportunities, he needs to go and capitalize.
Walter, 6 of 10 for 116 yards and a touchdown pass. On the outside, the veteran Crockett, pushed out of bounds by Robert Griffith. And a big run for Zach Crockett.
You get those fullbacks that all of a sudden they get some opportunities to go and carry the ball. Zach Crockett, nice cut to the outside. You know, it started to be a flashback. You see him right here at the tailback position. Does a good job of reading. Nice kick out right there by that offensive lineman, and Zach Crockett's on his way down the field. He's a big man. You better tackle him low. You're going to get run over by Zach Crockett.
Moss in motion. Justin Fargas on the give. Fargas met at the line of scrimmage as Adrian Wilson is there to bring him down. You know, the Oakland Raiders telling us we need to get out to a quick start, and they've been able to do that.
You know, expecting the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, these guys have had unbelievable starts since the beginning of the season, and the Raiders don't want to hear nothing about that. They want to get some respect there on offense and get people talking about them.
Walter swings it to Crockett. Crockett brought down by Gerald Hayes. So at the end of the first quarter, Goose, the Oakland Raiders with a 14-0 lead over the Arizona Cardinals. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. It's the Raiders on top of the Cardinals. 3rd and 3 for Andrew Walter and the Raiders. Looking, has time. And he throws it for Moss. There is nothing there. Antrell Roll was all over Randy Moss, and that'll bring up 4th and 3 as Sebastian Janikowski is out and Shane Leckler is a holder.
You know, Andrew Walter just has loads of time back here. They're only rushing 4 guys. Moss, that was a tough little pickup right there. He needs to get into the end zone and find a way to get open.
31-yard attempt. And a 17-0 lead for the Oakland Raiders. You know, a lot of talk about the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders, but yet they've been able to do the job up front, and they have given Andrew Walter time. This is an offense that's given up 24 sacks on the season.
Yeah, well, Tom Walker.
They have just put a lot of pressure on Liner. Janikowski.
Got a strong leg there. Cooked it right out of the end zone, huh?
Minute offense, he said in college, I only had to do that one time against Notre Dame. Now he's got a whole game to work from behind. They give Edgerrin James right up the middle. They felt that they could run in between the tackles.
Well, Edgerrin James.
2nd and 5 from the 25. The pitch to James, trying to get outside. James trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he's able to shuffle for a couple of more before Derek Burgess is there to disrupt him.
Run inside. He tries to run outside. You can't get out there. You got to stay inside and find those lanes.
3rd and 3, Goose, now for Arizona. Liner trying to buy time, trying to pick up the first down and unable to do so. Pass intended for Bryant Johnson, and it's 3 and out for the Arizona Cardinals.
The zone where they had a lot of movement up front, and he had time to find those holes. Here, he needs to go find the holes early and run downhill, like we pointed out earlier.
Chris Carr with a 6-yard return and a flag on the play as he brings it to the 36-yard line. A 48-yard punt.
During the kick, illegal block in the back. Receiving team number 36. 10-yard.
Because it's on their shoulders. If they don't score Arizona, they'll win this game.
The give to Fargas. Gets to the edges and he stumbles, and he's brought down at the 20-yard line. Orlando Huff there, about You remember anything about playing Matt Lyon? He said, yeah, looking over there and seeing him laughing and smiling with Pete Carroll. We were always down. They were toasting the champagne. And he said, I always thought it was just a character builder.
Sort of growled when he said that, too. It's showing out here. He wants to be the guy
toasting
champagne.
Brought down in the sack. Gabe Watson, the rookie out of Michigan, the 4th-round draft pick.
And play Raider ball.
3rd and 11. 3 wide receivers. Curry and Morant to the near side. Moss on the far side. The lone back, Richard Lee. Walter with time across the middle. Moss dragged down from behind by Darrell Blackstock. And a 1st down for Oakland. Very 14-yard pickup. At their own 29. Fargas. Barry Sims with the lead block. And coming up, Antrell Roll. And a good job by Roll coming up from the corner to make the stop.
Here they go right here. Trying to get to that 2nd level. Andre Roll comes up. And corners, man, they don't want to tackle you up high there. They want to get nice and low, get them shoelaces and trip you up. That's all right. It's a tackle.
2nd and 9 now for the Raiders. Moran in motion. Walter, quick drop. And broken up by Eric Green in his 2nd season out of Virginia Tech.
Johnny Morant really not happy on that play. Thought he should have got an interference call.
That'll bring up now.
Don't wait for the ball. Get your hands out there. Come back to it and cut the distance off so these defensive backs can't go and bother you.
5 of 6 on 3rd down. Under pressure, gets it away, finds Randy Moss once again. Stretching out for the 1st down, and he has it. David Macklin comes over, but not before Moss gets the 1st down.
Randy Moss, not only does he have a good catch on this, we'll see him right here. It's after the catch that really impressed me. He goes, oh, he's in the slot right here. He goes, he catches the ball. He knows where he is on the field. Now, he's not looking at the yard marker to get that 1st down, but he knows he's close. He stretches out and gets the 1st down. That's a smart heads-up veteran play by Randy Moss.
4 catches for 88 yards and a touchdown. And movement up front. You see the left tackle, Robert Gallery.
Every time you talk about something good, something bad happens to this Raider offense.
Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty.
Helmet. He's probably on the witness protection plan, knowing he doesn't want to see anybody.
1st and 15. And met in the backfield is Zach Crockett. Jonathan Lewis is there. Lewis, the rookie. I am slow.
I'm retired.
Yeah, I'm slow. That's the one thing I've always been. Andrew Walter under pressure, floats it over the middle, in and out of the hands of Courtney Anderson.
You know, this is one of the things Andrew Walter doesn't want to do. If you watch him right here, you're going to see Courtney right down the middle of the field. He's going to have defenders all over him. You can't go and thread that ball. That's close. That is very close. You don't want to go and force the ball in, cause a turnover, and give this Arizona team any momentum going the other way.
3rd down. 3 wide receivers. Richard Lee in the backfield. Walter under pressure, stripped of the football, picked up by the Arizona Cardinals. Bertrand Berry comes in with the right arm, strips Andrew Walter, in great field position for the Arizona Cardinals.
You know, the Cardinals show this blitz very early, and it looks like it gets picked up. Somebody gets through. If you see these 2 guys right here, they come in early. This offensive line, they're sliding to them. They got man on everybody, but you got to stay with them. He comes in right here with the hatchet. Berry does a nice job of going to getting that ball out. This is what you didn't want as a Raider. You don't want that turnover with the momentum going the other way.
Darrell Blackstock with the fumble recovery quickly to the line. The Cardinals. The give to James. James gets right back to the line. Maybe picks up a yard.
They need to get that run going because it's going to set up the play action. Matt Leinart is a threat back there, and if he can get some of them linebackers and defensive backs to think it's a run by handing the ball off to Edgerrin James, he's going to go and get a big play down the field and maybe score some points.
2nd and 8. Audibles. Warren Sapp coming in his face, and he's able to connect with Bryant Johnson.
Warren Sapp, right, he had a beautiful move on that play by Warren on that play.
First down at the 16-yard line of the Raiders. James trying to break outside, and he picks up 1, maybe 2. Earlier in the first quarter, the Arizona Cardinals were unable to convert on a turnover. They missed a field goal trying to convert on one here.
You're going to see Edgerrin James try to get to the outside, but you have those guys protecting the corner. They don't want to let Edgerrin James in the open field against their secondary.
Mike Kruzek.
Well, he's fired up there on the side.
The former Pittsburgh Steeler. Under pressure, they were bringing it. Incomplete pass.
They brought it right up the middle. Matt Leinart doing a nice job. You know, this is the smart things that that he does that you don't really see from a rookie. Right here, they miss the rusher. He goes and just gets rid of it. This guy right here, he needs to go and get his head around when he sees those linebackers in an area where they could blitz.
J.J. Arrington in the backfield. 4 wide receivers split out. 3rd and long for Leinart. At the 15. They swing it to the near side. And Anquan Boldin with the catch. He leads the NFL with 40 catches on the season, coming off of a career-high 12 on a Monday night against the Bears, is brought down. And that'll bring in Neil Rackers once again, who missed earlier on a 49-yard attempt. And this is a 29-yard attempt. Scott Player, the holder. And he finally gets it through the uprights. And Arizona is on the board. And the Oakland Raiders on top of the Arizona Cardinals 17-3. Neil Rackers, after missing a field goal earlier in the first quarter, gets one through the uprights. And for the second time, the ball falls off of the tee. 37 yards and 1 touchdown. Rackers. Carr takes it at the 6. Carr splits a seam and gets up to the 30-yard line before he is stopped by Obafemi Ayambadejo. Because Andrew Walter has been outstanding early.
I'll tell you what, starting fast. You know, you didn't expect this from Andrew Walter. I mean, he hasn't really done much over the past couple weeks, but I got to give him a lot of credit. This offense came out, said they were going to do something, which, you know, is hard to believe. You know, when you're struggling, you know, 0-5, you're looking for stuff. But they came out, got that run game going with Zach Crockett, Lamont Jordan, Justin Vargas, and Rashard Lee as a rotation. And I think that's the difference in this game right now.
2nd and 8. And Vargas is brought down. Darnell Dockett is able to meet up with Vargas in the backfield, and let's send it down to Los Angeles and Chris Rose. Chris?
Matt, watch the move by Antoine Randall L. of the Washington Redskins. Returns it 87 yards for a touchdown. The move on Hunter Smith right there. And Goose, of course, you used to cover punts for a living. You must be ashamed by that.
Punters, man, that move wasn't too much, but he put him on his back. I guess it was good enough.
3rd and 8. Walter under pressure. Flag on the play. Adrian Wilson coming from his safety position.
Offside. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So Wilson bringing it, and he was a little bit too quick bringing it.
Adrian Wilson right here. He has this gap right here. This guy has this gap. They're trying to go and fill up and put as many guys right in front of Andrew Walter's face and force him into a bad situation. Little early. Adrian wants to get back there and get that sack, man. He's got 4 sacks and 2 interceptions so far this year.
After the penalty, it was 3rd and long, now 3rd and 3. Walter looks, finds his tight end, Courtney Anderson, and a 1st down for the Raiders. One of the things that Andrew Walter had a problem against Denver was spreading the football around. He was locked in on Randy Moss, but yet you see him here this afternoon, and he's working to different receivers.
You need to. You'll see Courtney Anderson coming right across right here. What a big target he is. I mean, he is a big man. It's easy for Andrew Walter to see him when he's out there, and it's nice to go and have him change it up and spread that ball around, like you said.
Yeah, you talked to everybody with the Raiders. They said he is big. He's got a big arm. He can see over the line. Vargas carrying defenders with him.
Yeah, he is big. I mean, we've heard it from everybody. That was the first thing they said. Yeah, what do you think about Andrew Walter? Well, he's big. Well, what else? He could see.
And he's got a big arm.
He's got a big arm. You know, not a lot of information coming out of that Oakland Raiders camp.
He broke the record of John Elway's for Pac-10 touchdowns in a career 85, and then that was broken by Matt Leinart. Vargas on the pitch. Vargas getting outside, and he picks up 2. Vargas 10 carries and 32 yards as Chike O'Keefer, the veteran out of Purdue, is there on the scene.
You know, Vargas on that run comes to the line of scrimmage and spins a little bit. You don't want to be spinning up there on that line of scrimmage. Those linebackers are coming, and the speed of this defense, so you can get hurt.
You see the Pac-10 history there. Andrew Walter out of Arizona State broke the record of John Elway, and then Matt Leinart eclipsed it. 3rd down. Raiders are 7 of 9 on 3rd down. Walter looking for Moss.
That's the second one that Moss dropped right in his hands. I mean, everybody knows Randy Moss is a good receiver, and you know, he has nothing to complain about. They're throwing the ball to him, but he needs to make those catches.
You know, Pro Bowl receiver, and you see him shaking his head, dropped what would have been a touchdown pass. Shane Leckler, who has a big leg. This is his first punt of the afternoon. 2-time Pro Bowler. Walters telling everyone to get out of the way. He was back to receive. The Oakland Raiders on top of the Arizona Cardinals, 17-3. Tonight on Fox, it's Game 2 of the World Series as the Cardinals try to take a commanding 2-0 lead while the Tigers look to even the series. Coverage begins tonight after Football Live in high definition right here on Fox.
I don't know, Kenny Rogers, man.
He's been nasty.
Woo. I'll tell you what, he talks to himself crazy on that pitching mound, but that ball flies.
He talks to everybody but the guys down in Dallas.
Yeah, he's got demons he talks to.
On the give, and a couple of yards as the pile moves. Adrian James is brought down by Kirk Morrison. And a 2-minute warning. And the Oakland Raiders on top, 17-3. Look at the numbers. Matt Leinart, the rookie out of USC, just 3 of 9 for 37 yards and an interception. And Andrew Walter with the big first half thus far, Goose.
That's what it is. And Matt Leinart's back in a situation he wasn't familiar with in college. 2-minute drill. I mean, they just had the 2-minute called, and he's back in that situation where he's got to go and take this team down the field and go into half with more than 3 points.
Out of the shotgun, across the middle, almost intercepted.
Don't start forcing that ball in there, Matt Leinart.
Nnamdi Asomugha is there, and in and out of the hands of the 4th-year player out of Cal Berkeley.
Right here, he's going and jumping. That DB is jumping on that ball.
Pass intended for Anquan Boldin.
Needs to be a little bit more patient. Let that guy get open.
3rd down. 3rd and 7. Leinart. Brian Johnson reels it in. And they're saying no. Incomplete. And Johnson, in disgust, cannot believe it. And the Raiders defense comes up big.
Well, they got a lot of good pressure coming off the edges. Matt Leinart does a nice job of working the pocket. Just another drop ball. Good defensive play.
Raiders could end up with great field position. Scott Player, low kick. Here's Carr trying to get outside. Carr weaving his way and gets up to the 45-yard line. And there is time now with 1:37 remaining here in the 2nd quarter for the Oakland Raiders to move the ball. Coming up,
Arizona Cardinals right down the field. No problem. And
it's been Andrew Walter, the other Pac-10 quarterback. 3 wide receivers set. Rashard Lee on the give. Lee straight ahead. Lee picks up 5 yards. And this is an offense that is without their starting running back, Lamont Jordan, as Chris Cooper makes the stop. The free agent pickup, who was released by Seattle back in September. There's Lamont Jordan. Walter. Moss. And almost picked off. Randy Moss once again.
Randy Moss, that's the 3rd time he's missed a catch. Okay, right there, they almost have a turnover, and Arizona almost catches it. Watch where this ball hits him. Right there. That's right in the hands. That is unacceptable as a receiver, and a big-time receiver that he is.
If you're missing him like that, you can't say anything. There's no room to say anything. 3rd drop pass, one of those, in the end zone. So 3rd down now and 5. Walter with time. Walter connects. This time Alvis Wittig. Out of North Carolina State. Aaron Francisco there.
Well, that's exactly
First
Andrew.
charge, timeout. Oakland.
And those catches, Andrew Walter has to do exactly what he's doing, is spread the ball around. The Ronald Curry, Courtney Anderson, Alvis Witten. I mean, I can't believe Randy Moss dropped those 3 balls. This would be, you know, the score would be totally lopsided if he just makes those catches.
1st down and 10 now for the Oakland Raiders. Walter finds Ronald Curry, and Curry is pushed out of bounds and down now to the 25-yard line, make it the 24-yard line of the Cardinals, and the Cardinals slow to get up, not the Raiders. Walter, presence in the pocket, but no, interception. Adrian Wilson picks off his 3rd pass of the season.
I don't know. Adrian Wilson right there. He has a nice interception. I don't know why he runs out of bounds. Had a wide open field. Really surprising.
Walter had all the time in the world.
Yeah, just a bad throw. Walter. There he is, Adrian Wilson. I don't know if he thought he had a lot of time, but put your offense in a better position to go and score here. Don't run out of bounds on a 15 or 16-yard line.
Despite the 3 turnovers, Oakland on top. Leinart has 32 seconds. Incomplete. Pass intended for Anchor.
Struggling with the run. And Andrew Walter, I mean, did a lot of good things with that last series.
4 wide receivers. Leinart to the near side. First down for the Arizona Cardinals. Bryant Johnson there.
Didn't get out of bounds.
The clock's still running. And now a whistle.
Score when you go and get the turnover. Same thing happened to them last Monday.
Leinart under pressure. Derek Burgess had him by the ankles, and Leinart's ball. The give to Ion Badesio straight ahead, and that'll end the first half. The Oakland Raiders looking for their first win of the season, lead at halftime. Fox NFL Sunday will continue. Kurt Menefee, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will be along for the Visa halftime show right after these messages.
But they're getting hits, hurries, and the biggest thing is getting their hands up on those short passes, tipping balls, which we saw had the 1 turnover.
Taken at the goal line by J.J. Arrington. Arrington brings it up to the 22-yard line before he is dropped. And for the latest in fantasy stats, log on to foxsports.com and we take a look at the first half stats.
You know, the ones that really stick out right here are the passing yards and the total yards. Time of possession is another big one. These are 3 areas where we thought the Cardinals would have those numbers instead of the Raiders.
Time of possession, huge. Warren Sapp, you know, he told us, I've heard enough, you know, new system, new coaches, new this. We put in our time, 40+ hours a week. We've been together long enough to get something done. James unable to get anything done there as he is stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Warren Sapp is one guy that doesn't want to have excuses. As you see him right here on this play, older guy, there he is right there. He's going, squeezing him down the field, so there's no room for Edgerrin James. I mean, he says, Goose, you know how it is. We're here from March, April, May, June, July, August, September. I mean, we've been here for a long time with all the mini camps they have now, with all the, you know, camps that they say you don't have to go to, but you better show up if you want to be on the team. If you don't know this stuff, it's your problem.
First down for the Arizona Cardinals. And Matt Leinart getting some positive yards as he connects with Anquan Boldin.
Well, the thing about Matt Leinart.
Leinart to the far side, picked off. The veteran Tyrone Poole, the former Carolina Panther, in his 12th season, picks off the Leinart pass.
Matt Leinart drops back as we watch right here. Tyrone Poole's got his eyes on him. That's just, you know, he's trying to squeeze it in there to Boldin. He's got a
unsportsmanlike conduct. Intercepting team number 53. Throat flash signal. 15-yard penalty. Oakland keeps the ball. First down.
Penalty afterwards, Goose, on Thomas Howard.
He needs to be aware, talking about Matt Leinart, of where those DBs are, not squeeze the ball in. I know you want to get it into Anquan Boldin's hands, but you got to spread it around like we're seeing on the other side of the ball by Andrew Walters, thrown to his tight end, and a host of receivers on that side.
You know, for the first time, we see Matt Leinart actually playing like a rookie. Everybody talked to
out.
Raiders trying to take advantage of the turnover. Lee on the reception out of the backfield. And he is pushed out of bounds after a pickup of 9 yards. And let's send it back down the Pacific Highway down to Chris Rose. Chris.
All right, Matt. Mewelde Moore is going to take the handoff. He gets pressure, but look at the throw to Jermaine Wiggins. 15 yards for the score. The Vikings have a 17-10 lead up in Seattle. Back to Matt and Tony.
All right, thank you very much. Second and short. Walter. Screen. Flag on the play. The ball went off of the helmet of Barry Sims.
Well, that's an easy penalty right there. As an offensive lineman, those big guys, if you see Sims right there, he needs to get out of the way. You know, if the quarterback throws, if it touches one of those offensive linemen first.
Illegal touching. Offense number 65. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Even though I'm sure he wanted to catch that ball, those big guys right here on the screen. He drops back. They do a good job of getting up. Here he is right here, just a big guy. Even though Zach Crockett goes and catches it off him, he can't touch an offensive lineman. Or you're going to see a flag, and that's exactly what we saw.
Sims didn't realize where his running back was. His running back was ahead of him.
Usually they are. They got a lot more speed than those big guys. So you want to think it's a big guy, you got a lot of speed, but it's not always the case.
Crockett on the reception. Antrell Roll, second-year cornerback out of Miami, former first-round pick. Missed most of his rookie season last year with a knee injury.
78 reported eligible.
Chad Slaughter checking in for the second time, reported eligible.
Now you could probably match Chad Slaughter up with a defensive end or somebody who can run a little bit, but I wouldn't put a defensive back on him, even though he's a large guy there. But
third and short. Lee and Crockett. First one through is stopped by the front of the Arizona Cardinals.
Well, they put those big guys in there. They report as eligible, but they're going to run right behind them. But they need to stay low. Even though those Raiders offensive line are big, you see all these big guys right here. They need to go and stay low and push these guys right here backwards. And they're high right now. They got some penetration, and Zach Crockett almost loses the ball right there.
Bertrand Berry is there to stop it. Leckler getting set to punt to Troy Walters. Leckler gets it off. And a touchback. This team in the NFL on top of the Arizona Cardinals, a team that is 1-5. They've dropped 5 in a row. They believe that they should be a lot better than 1-5. Not showing it thus far. Leinart across the middle and out of the hands of Adam Bergen, and Leinart has struggled today, Goose.
Yeah, he has. There they are. Derek Burgess getting some sacks, getting hits. You know, it's not just the sacks that count. It's just letting them know that, hey, these defensive guys are coming at you. We saw the tip ball, the interception.
Second and 10 from the 20.
Just a rough day altogether. He needs to get something going here with this team.
Second and 10. Leinart. Incomplete. Pass intended to Bryant Johnson. And time now to check out the fantasy stats. Log on to foxsports.com and you see the updated stats with Matt Leinart. And who would have thought Andrew Walter, 14 of 24 for 194 yards. You see James still unable to get it going.
He needs to get over that hurdle. He needs a 100-yard game, but the way he's been running today, I don't think he's going to get it here.
Cardinals haven't had one in a long time since Emmitt Smith. Liner under duress. Swings it out. Badejo. And he is stopped before getting to the first down marker and brought down by Lance Johnstone.
Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator for this Raider defense, is doing a great job of bringing the pressure on Matt Liner and forcing him into bad situations. You saw the pass right there to Femi Badejo. I mean, that's a last resort for a quarterback when you have to go dump your ball off to the fullback.
Of course, the son of Buddy Ryan, and his brother is a defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
And he looks like a Raider there with that hair going and the goatee. I mean, he fits right here in the Raider Nation.
He's done an outstanding job over the last couple of weeks. His defense has been stout. Chris Carr trying to get to the near side before he is brought down. Derek Burgess. Raiders on offense, and their offense has been sharp. Their best offensive day thus far. Walter with Fargas in the backfield. Finds Randy Moss, and he catches it this time. Antrell Roll is there, and a first down.
Well, that's what you expect out of Randy Moss when you throw the ball to him. I mean, there he is right here. Everybody knows where he is on the field. He goes, runs a little comeback route right here. You're going to see him stop. And what he does good is he comes back to the ball, tries to get a couple extra yards, but smart veteran guy getting out.
He's had a drop today in the end zone. He had drops in the end zone against San Francisco as well as Denver. Walter to the near side and broken up. This is Eric Green.
This is very strange to me. You know, you see this right now. You have 10 minutes left in the second quarter. They're up by 2 scores and they're throwing the ball. This is a great time to go and run the ball and run the clock down. Take 7, 8 minutes off the clock. Right now, throwing the ball, you have a chance for a turnover, and that clock just gets stopped every time you miss.
This is a team that in the second half has really been limited. Just 13 points in the second half, just 1 touchdown in the second half. That was late against San Francisco in the fourth quarter. Moving the chains, Courtney Anderson, the big tight end, able to break a tackle before Gerald Hayes.
Well, maybe they figured they want to get 1 more score instead of run the clock down here.
Come on, Goose.
In this third quarter.
No Lamont Jordan. And so they've had to rely on Fargas and Crockett, and then that big arm of Andrew Walter.
Yeah, there he is, the big guy getting the ball. Nice little try for the stiff arm right there. Stay in bounds. Keep that clock running a little bit.
35-yard hookup. Anderson in his 3rd season out of San Jose State. In motion. Fargas with the fumble. Falls on it before O'Keefer jumps on top of him. And this is where the Raiders, in talking to me, it hasn't been one thing. It's been multiple things.
Well, they luck out on that one. I mean, that could have easily been a disaster right there. Just get on that ball. Yeah, you're taught to go and get on your side on those fumbles, but when it's in a crucial area like that, and you don't know where it's going, just jump on it. Sometimes it'll hit your belly right there, but Lamont Jordan right there on the sideline.
He wants in.
He wants to get in there inside the 30-yard line. He wants to go run a little bit.
2nd and 17, and Andrew Walter uses a timeout.
Oakland.
Raiders.
Watching Lamont Jordan on the sideline, stretching for 3 quarters now. Only has 1 carry for 11 yards, but he wants to get back in. He's seeing these running backs out there having success. He wants the ball.
Walter floats it over the middle, and Alvis Whitted drops it.
He needs to concentrate on that ball. He thinks it's going to get tipped by the defensive back. You got to be ready for that. Here's Andrew Walter, goes, throws a nice ball, gets hit right in the face before the ball comes out. That ball's dropping right, hits you right in the pads. Oh, man, these receivers are going to be on the jugs machine this week.
Richard Lee in the backfield. 3rd and 17. Walter connects with Randy Moss. First down for the Raiders. Now Moss is talking. Feeling good after that across the middle.
Here it is, Moss. You're going to see him coming from the left side of your screen across. Andrew Walters goes and just finds him on a little crossing route. He sees that defender right in front of him. Smart veteran play by getting down. You don't want him to get hit by that guy right there.
Lee and Fargas in the backfield. Moss in motion. Here's Fargas. Stutter step, tripped up. And he is stopped.
Gabe Watson gets a tackle on that one, even though he trips him with his foot down there in the middle as a defensive lineman.
Second and goal. Walter brought down by Bertrand Berry.
Andrew Walter, tackled by number 92, Bertrand Berry.
Berry brings down Walter.
He looks like a Raider, but that's only half the deal. You got to play like a Raider down there.
From the 17-yard line. Walter flushed down, off balance. Intended for Ronald Curry.
I don't know.
And that'll bring out Sebastian Janikowski.
Andrew Walter looked like he had that sideline right there. Now, I don't know his 40 time. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. He is a big guy, and he looks like he's got a long legs there, probably a 36, 38 inseam. He needs to go and use those legs when he has the opportunity and get down closer to those kickers, make a little easy chip shot.
35-yard attempt. Janikowski, and it's stretched out to 20. The Raiders on top of Arizona 20-3.
This guy in the stands reminds me when I came here to play in the AFC Championship game, and those guys were all over there throwing stuff out our bus and shaking our bus. Man, I thought I was in jail.
Everybody that was talking to you today, what do they talk about?
That's it.
They're talking about
Arizona and Oakland, time of possession. This is huge. This is something that Oakland's been trying to do in the last 6 games, and you know, the yards too, 309 yards. That's big for their offense. Gives you a little momentum.
The worst in both of those categories in the NFL coming into this afternoon's game. Leinart under pressure. Derek Burgess in his face brings him down at the 5-yard line. They have brought the pressure all day long.
Well, this is exactly with Rob Ryan. We talked about it earlier. He's going to bring the pressure. You see that defensive line. Here they come. Burgess on the outside, little inside move on Oliver Ross. That's a tough thing. He goes after the ball. You know, Rob Ryan saying Burgess, he's a man's man.
Oh, brought down once again in the end zone.
And once Rob Ryan and that defense gets a little taste of blood, those Raiders want more.
Leinart gets up slowly at the 1.
They got to go and check that. That red flag's got to come out. That was too close. Let's watch it right here. Matt Leinart dropping back. You see right here, Tyrone Poole on the outside. I don't know. That's close. That could be a safety right there. Tyrone Poole. I don't know. He gets that right foot, gets back in there. Doesn't look like there's going to be a challenge.
Here comes Bill Vinovich.
We're going to have a conference, though. There it is, the red flag. There is a challenge on that play.
Tyrone Poole.
They all got to see that. You never know, man, especially when those receivers line up close to that line of scrimmage. It brings those corners. No, but it might be basing this on where his feet is. It's where the ball is. This should be a safety.
After reviewing the play, first contact was made. The quarterback was outside the end zone. The ruling on the field stands. Oakland is charged. Their first timeout.
I don't agree with that at all. It looked like that ball was over the plane of the goal line when he got hit. I know, you know, the action took him into the end zone, but it looked like the ball was in there. His feet weren't in there, but it looked like the ball was in there. You see it right here. It's right there. Here's the ball back in here, this little dot. And there's the line.
Backed up, 3rd and 29 at their own 1.
Now that is a safety. That is a safety. There you go. Rob Ryan, 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers. He had the whole kitchen sinks on that line of scrimmage. It looked like the old Buddy Ryan's Eagle defense, or Bears defense, up on that line of scrimmage. I've been in that defense once or twice in my life.
Marcel Shipp on the carry and stopped.
There you go right here. He gets the ball. Nobody blocks. Man, A.J. Schabel, he's got to go and make that block. Michael Huff, 1st-round draft pick. He wants to show everybody you didn't waste no money. I know Matt Leinert's playing well, but give me a chance there.
Michael Huff comes in all week long. You heard it.
There he is.
And he's heard it. Hey, they pass on Matt Leinart. And Huff, chosen 7th overall out of Texas, comes in.
You know, it's nice as an organization going and getting that win. You know, they're 0-5 right now going into this game. These guys, you know, you look at a guy like Michael Huff. I'm sure he went out and bought a nice new Mercedes, got some new jewelry, but you can't go out of the house till you get a win in the NFL. Now he can get out on the town a little bit, drive that new car around, show that bling.
And talking to him, he said, listen, you know, 0-5, he said, I've lost more already in 5-6 weeks in the NFL than I did in 4 years at Texas. He said, I don't even know how to respond to it. Chris Carr takes it. Carr up close to the 50-yard line before he is stopped. And take a look at the...
I'm still here at 8 and 9. 10, somebody picked me.
And but he told us that he is happy to be in Arizona. He said it couldn't work out any better. Walter under duress loses the ball, and the defense of the Cardinals comes up big.
Here's an opportunity for Matt Leinart with this turnover. The defense for the Cardinals has been playing very well. Here's a turnover right now. They get the ball out. They haven't been able to turn these turnovers into points. That is what they need to do. See right here, they got 5 guys on the line of scrimmage. Here comes the pressure. Gets the ball out. That is something you can't teach. That little hatchet. That hatchet right there on the backside. That gets the ball out. That's something you just got to know. Bertrand Berry, I mean, that's a signature. They should call that the Bertrand Berry hatchet. He's been hatcheting all day.
Former Denver Bronco, that's Andrew Walter, trying to stretch out his leg. Leinart over the middle, big hit. Anquan Bolden holds on to it and brings it down to the 22-yard line of the Raiders.
Anquan.
Fabian Washington, who's missed the last 2 weeks because of a hamstring injury, finally brought him down. The give, Edgerrin James, can he get it going? No. And a flag on the play. I mean, James has just been unable to get any breathing room.
Offense number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's Reggie Wells holding the offensive line and getting some points and moving and shaking and have that whole offensive line going on a zone where everybody's moving. Always got to be a downhill runner.
Leinart dragged down by the right hand of Tommy Kelly. Nice, you know,
I'm mad at Chris.
Around.
Chris said back to Matt. I'm here too, Chris.
The goose.
Yeah. Take care of that later.
He doesn't want to see you coming. He'll be running. Leinart to Edgerrin James, and he's brought down by Kirk Morrison. Morrison, a native of Oakland, went to Bishop O'Dowd High School.
Hatchet came in. Bertrand buried. Looks like he got hit right on the hip flexor. Let's see what we come back with on that.
Here's Liner out of the pocket. And Bolden is out of bounds with Nnamdi Asamoah on the coverage. And they're unable to get anything going on the offensive end. The magic just not there thus far for Matt Leinart.
Well, one good thing I saw out of this play with Matt Leinart is he does go and give his receivers a little extra time by getting out of the pocket and moving. They need to go and move with him downfield and get open.
Rackers from 45 yards. Player the holder. Rackers up. And good. So 2 field goals for Neil Rackers, and the Oakland Raiders still on top 22-6.
Well, them 3 points you're not
here this afternoon. Rackers to kick. Carr takes it at the 10. Carr cuts back up and is stopped at the 31-yard line. Some extra pushing and shoving.
Nice. You gotta love that. Those guys on special teams, man, it's a special breed playing special teams. I can remember when I was a rookie out there. I was playing on the return team one time, and I had this guy running 50 miles an hour. I got a lot of respect for those special teams guys out there. They got a lot of adrenaline.
New quarterback Marcus Tuiasosopo, 27 years of age, former second-round draft pick. Walter was running out there, but then came back. Tuiasosopo is on the field. And the give. No, play action. Swings it to the other side. Pass intended for Randall Williams and incomplete. Tuiasosopo saw action against San Francisco. That was with 10:30 remaining in the fourth quarter, after Walter threw a lateral pass to Lamont Jordan that wasn't recovered by the Oakland Raiders, but instead the San Francisco 49ers, that was brought in for a touchdown. We're getting word that for Walter it's a hamstring pull, and his return is possible. On the pitch, Justin Fargas trying to stretch it outside, and he'll pick up maybe 2. You know, so much talk about the quarterback position. They go out.
Good and great. I think competition really goes, and you see what kind of guy you get when you throw somebody in there.
Tuiasosopo running for the first down.
It's tough as a defense. You get a new quarterback. You know, you got Andrew Walter who's going to drop back there, stay in the pocket. Now you get Tuiasosopo. You got to go and keep your eyes on him. You know, they're rushing 4 guys right here. That lane opens up in the front with those big guys. He's going to run and keep those chains moving. And that's exactly what the Raiders want to do right now, is keep that clock moving.
11-yard pickup for Marcus Tuiasosopo. First down and 10. Fargas getting outside, stretching out the D, and he picks up 1, maybe 2 before Orlando Huff drags it. 2nd and 9, under a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Randy Moss, after a couple of drops, has responded. Tuiasosopo, they're bringing it under pressure. Zach Crockett across the 50 into Cardinals territory.
On the screen, Zach Crockett. And this is a guy we go to speak. We speak with him over at the Raiders complex, and as they're out in practice, this is a guy who says, you know, Goose, they just need to go and get the ball out there. We need to mix it up. They talked about running the screens. There he is right there, very aware of what the screens are. On Friday, he invites all the guys over the house for a fish fry. He actually goes out to a local pond. Now, I don't know about this, but he goes out to the local pond and catches some catfish, brings it back, fillets it himself, invites all the players over for a nice fish fry. Maybe they had a talk at that fish fry, and that's what motivated these guys to come out here today and play like they are.
Trying to fry some birds here. Just a chain link into a close.
He's
and
ready.
The Oakland Raiders,
The end of the third quarter.
with the lead 22-6 over the Arizona Cardinals. They lead 22-6, going for the first down to begin the fourth quarter, and it looks very close, and I don't know if the Raiders got it. Did they? They did.
It's hard to believe with those big guys up front. I mean, any of them guys, 310. I mean, they're marked down in the program as 310, but I think I've lied about a couple times about my weight, and I think these guys might be right there with me. Yeah,
you have?
I think they a couple times, not
You're
too
looking
often.
good though.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. 44 years as an owner, Raul Davis. Just win, baby. That famous comment.
End around. Looking to throw it. That's Ronald Curry, former quarterback at North Carolina. It's picked off by the veteran Robert Griffith. Had an interception against Chicago. And he picks one off there in his 13th season out of San Diego State.
You're not going to fool Robert Griffith back there, man. This is a veteran that's going to go and read. If he sees those receivers going downfield, he's not going to buy this little reverse. You see right here, he goes. He's not selling it good enough. Downfield, gets a shot. Ooh, that was a
roll.
Intro roll, goes and jacks his wig. Right there. Griffith, I think he thought he was in the end zone looking for a touchback. Move those little legs there, Robert. Get out of there. Go.
He needed help after that shot.
Wow.
Can the Cardinals do to the Raiders what the Bears did to them on Monday night?
We're done.
And we talk so much about the swagger of Matt Leinart. But one of the things that Leinart needs, he needs number 32, Edgerrin James, to perform. And a lot of that has to do, as you mentioned, with that different offensive scheme up front.
Everything just falls into place when you run the ball. Your play action, they start biting on that. The blitzes, if the run game is going, they're worried about the downfield pass. Everything falls into place when you're running the ball. And right now, the Cardinals are not running the ball well at all.
Leinart, and he finds Anquan Bolden for a first down. And
tough little area. They got their back to that black hole back there with all those guys screaming. Remember the AFC Championship game when I was here, man, that crowd right there.
The black hole.
Yeah, they don't wave hello to you over there. They're not real friendly. You don't want to be signing autographs.
They love you over there.
Yeah, they love me. That's why I'm up here in the booth and not at the sideline in this game.
From the 20, the give to James. James gets 1 yard. James with 11 carries.
We talk about how Edgerrin James and that offensive line just don't match together. He's right here. Watch him when he gets to the line of scrimmage. Right there, he needs to go and accelerate right through this gap right here and not hesitate. Right now he's hesitating. He's not sure of where he's going. That's when that hole. In the NFL, those holes open and close so fast. When you see him, you need to hit him. And it's just a different style that he's used to. But he needs to get on the same page as that offensive line.
Leinart. In and out of the hands of Anquan Bolden as Stuart Schweigert comes up and makes the hit.
That was a nice hit. A good timing by Schweigert. I mean, if you can't go and get the interception, make him pay for coming in your zone. You see him right here on the left of your screen coming in, stripping that ball out and solidifying the tackle. A lot of guys will go after that ball and try to get an interception, and somehow the receivers, they come up with it. They did a nice job of going and wrapping the receiver up, suring the tackle, and getting the ball out.
3rd and 9, 0 for 8. On 3rd down, Leinart across the middle, and a first down, and not stopped. Getting up and running is Here's Bryant Johnson before he is tracked down and stopped at the 19. Heads up play by Bryant Johnson after the catch wasn't stopped. And then Nnamdi Asomugha and Michael Huff had to race him and track him down.
Matt Leinart on this play, I mean, he is close. I mean, slips right there, but they're coming to get him. Those ends are right on the outside, slips. Beautiful catch right there. Bryant Johnson. Now watch how he covers that ball up there at the end of the run. We didn't see it, but he covers that ball up knowing that he has defenders around him, and they're going to try and punch that ball out and get that turnover.
The give to James. James, no place to go. One of the things that you mentioned to me when we were talking about Edgerrin James, you said, listen, he's got to get it and just go.
And that's what he's not doing. If you watch on this replay, I mean, he just gets to the line of scrimmage, and that hesitation once again. I mean, when you get to the line of scrimmage, you need to just keep going. They talk about it running downhill. You'll see him coming in the back of your screen right there. Those little shuffles, stutter steps, that gives that whole defense time to go and swarm to where you're at.
2nd and 10, Leinart through the fingertips of Troy Walters. It is not intercepted. Fabian Washington thought that he almost picked it off, but he didn't. The second-year cornerback out of Nebraska, former first-round pick.
Gets up afterwards, just whips that ball almost into the stands.
Leinart trying to lead his Cardinals back once again. Out of the shotgun, 3 wide receivers. Leinart under pressure, escapes. Flag down. Leinart racing out of bounds before Kirk Morrison pushes him out. But a holding is going to be charged to the Cardinals.
Yeah, it looked like somebody tackled Derek Burgess.
Offense number 79. Penalties declined. Result of the play, 4th down.
Oliver Ross play football.
Now they have to settle once again for a field goal. Rackers, a 38-yard attempt, has 2 on the afternoon. He has missed 1. This one right through the uprights. And the Oakland Raiders still on top, 22-9. That Raider defense doing it once again. Leinart hasn't experienced this before. This is just his 3rd start. Leinart 10 of 26. Rackers kicking off to Carr, taking it to 2. Carr cuts outside, stays on his feet, then gets up to the 36-yard line. The Oakland Raiders doing it on both ends. 2 points off of those turnovers.
The only guy happy is the guy who has Rackers as a fantasy pick. Everybody else in Arizona is not happy with that. I mean, they've had some changes. Denny Green made the change with Keith Rowan and moving him in positions and bringing Mike Kruzik in. But they could have Houdini as an offensive coordinator. You need offensive linemen who are going to go and make things happen.
Yeah, you mentioned Neil Rackers saying, hey, the only one's happy the fantasy. I don't even know if they're that happy with Neil Rackers. Right? There's Mike Kruzik. One of the things they mentioned this week, hey, it was a short week, tough week, but yet things were organized. They stuck to the game plan. But they need to make an adjustment with that game plan, and Denny Green has made a lot of changes in his staff over his brief time in Arizona.
This defense for the Cardinals going out there forcing those turnovers. It's tough. You know, you're doing your job out there, but you're not coming away with wins.
Tuiasa Sopo hands it off to Justin Fargas, and this has been an offense that right now doesn't have Lamont Jordan because of lower back pain, and now also Andrew Walter is out. They've already lost their starting quarterback early in the season against Baltimore.
There's Lamont Jordan. He's been stretching on the sideline, pacing back and forth. You know, sometimes, you know, you go and somebody gets in there like a Zach Crockett or a Justin Vargas and things start working. Them coaches start saying, hey, maybe I need to make a change. But as a player, you want to get in there and show them what you got.
Moss on the near side, lone back is Rashard Lee. Quick pass, Moss, another drop.
And I'll tell you what, I don't know if Lester Hayes is here in the stadium, but he needs to bring some stickum down to this guy. I mean, this is the 4th pass Randy Moss dropped. I mean, I don't know. That pass looked like it hit him right in the hands again. Talking earlier about, you know, a possible trade and him wanting to go somewhere else. Well, you better go and get some film and prove to everybody around the league that you can make catches like this when it counts.
Of course, Randy Moss thought that he would have Doug Gabriel around. And also Jerry Porter. He is without the security blanket of those 2 wide receivers. Leckler, a booming kick. And a touchback. 22-9. The Raiders on top of the Cardinals, looking for their first win. Cardinals with their quarterback Matt Leinart to start at their 20 with 8:34 to go in the 4th quarter. The give to Edgerrin James, and that's what they expected out of Edge as he gets up.
Yeah, that's what they need. That's what this offensive line, if we take a look at them. I mean, you know, you got the second overall pick right here with Leonard Davis. I think he's playing pretty well today. The rest of these guys, 6th-round picks. This is the Oliver Ross's 4th team in 8 years. And Chris right here, Lewinsky, they signed him the first week, Friday of the first week of the season. So these guys really haven't played together a lot, but they need to show that they're getting better and better every week.
The give to the fullback. A.J. Shable, the rookie out of Ida Grove, Iowa. And South Dakota. This is also an offensive line that doesn't have Jeremy Bridges, who was released, and Bridges is now starting for the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, they need to go out there, and you know, this is definitely something they need to address. Obviously not this year. They just got to go and see if there's anybody, maybe on somebody's practice squad or somebody that's loaded with offensive linemen. Go and bring some guys in and start building up this area. This is what you need. Spend all that money on a guy like Matt Leinart. You better go and protect him. And
Derek Burgess tracking him down from behind. Pass intended and broken up. Intended for James, broken up by Kirk Morrison.
Yeah, he almost had interception on that one. Derek Burgess, I mean, watch him. It's looked like he just went right by him. Oh, right there in the middle, comes across. He didn't see anything open where he was. He gets down there from his position, boy. He closes. I mean, this guy looks like a defensive back when he's running out there.
Burgess has had a big day, Goose.
Rob Ryan putting him in a situation for success.
Arizona.
He closes again right there.
And the pass complete. Troy Walters scampers. He wasn't touched. And he gets up close to the 50.
Under pressure, too. I mean, Derek Burgess, we talked about him again. I mean, he was right there on Matt Leinart. I mean, he's trying to get away. Matt Leinart's doing a good job of trying to gain an extra half a second, be able to see those receivers downfield and get that ball down to him.
Just 6:34 to go in the 4th quarter. Arizona's been outscored in the 4th quarter 50-17. Fumble. Leinart falls on it. Heads up play by Matt Leinart.
Yeah, it looks like that was on the center. Take a look at what Derek Burgess has done today. 50. He's done a great job today.
Former Eagle. Leinart in the air and incomplete.
They got to give Keith Millard, the defensive line coach, some credit also. We've been talking about Rob Ryan.
11-29. 2 interceptions. J.J. Arrington in the backfield out of the shotgun. 3rd down. Leinart with time across the middle. Holden brought down short of the 1st down by Tyrone Poole. And timeout Arizona on Fox. John Madden, a Hall of Famer, received his Hall of Fame ring ring here at a ceremony today.
You see it there on his left hand. You know,
long overdue. He's bringing him luck.
Close to that finger right there. He's showing a ring off to us.
Leinart into traffic, tipped up and incomplete.
A lot of tip balls here today.
4th down.
See it right here, Matt Leinart. Another catchable ball. I don't know, he could have been interfered with a little bit right there. Needless to say, you got to go and make those catches when that ball's around. Tough day for Matt Leinart today.
The pressure has been constant throughout the game, Goose.
And this is something that all the other teams that play in the rest of the season are going to see. He's going to have to expect this kind of pressure from here on out.
4th down, and they give it back to the Raiders. Tuiasosopo in for the injured Andrew Walter, and Walter, he was outstanding early, showing some poise as Fargas is on the carry, and he picks up a couple. You know, this is a franchise that is a proud franchise. They're 0-5, only winless team in the NFL. But you take a look back, since 1963, they have the best winning percentage, Goose. 28 winning seasons. They have Hall of Famers, 15 of them, in fact. 28 winning seasons, as I mentioned, 21 playoff appearances, 3 Super Bowl wins. The only NFL team to play in the Super Bowl in 4 different decades.
You know, those guys that we showed up on the screen, they got this scruff and they're tough, and you read about them how crazy they were. But let me tell you one thing. Al Davis, you could see him right there, knew that his guys on Sunday, even though they looked like, you know, wild men, when it came time on Sunday and they stepped on that field, that these guys were going to play some football. Win or lose, you were going to know you played the L.A. or Oakland Raiders, whatever they were back then.
Well, at the top there it says, who's the boss? Everybody knows who the boss is. It's Al Davis. He's done it his way for 44 years, and they have won 3 Super Bowls.
I mean, it's definitely at the Raiders organization, it is a dictatorship. And that man right there, Al Davis on your right, everything goes from him. I mean, he orders the food. He says whether they're going to have macaroni and cheese or chicken wings. I mean, there's nothing that the attention to detail over there. Nothing he doesn't have a say in.
Out of the timeout. 2nd and 7. The give to Fargas. Fargas hits a hole in a hurry, but he is stopped by Huff. Orlando Huff is there, along with Aaron Francisco. You know, we talked at the top with the Arizona Cardinals saying, hey, listen, we're moving beyond this thing. Right. We got to move around. We're better than 1-5. We're this, we're that. And you come in after a Monday night performance where you completely collapse and you don't bring it. You put us in those shoes as a player. What are you thinking?
I'll tell you what, you know, you go, you play a whole game. You know the whole country's watching on Monday night. You get all fired up. You have 5 minutes left in the game. You're up by 2 touchdowns. I mean, and then all of a sudden the pin comes, and it gets so deflated, and you lose the game, and they have a short week, and they got to get it out of their system. I mean, it's not an easy thing to come back after a week like that and try to get up for a game. They're not the same team they were on Monday, and it could be because of the short week. Denny Green knows it right there.
Randy Moss, 6 catches, 121 yards. I mean, you can say that you're better than 1-5 and you should be this and you should be that, but it's revealed on Sunday. You are who you are, and right now the Cardinals,
it is.
they're in jeopardy of falling to 0-6. Tuiasosopo on the handoff to Fargas, and Fargas is brought down by Calvin Pace.
You know, we talk about how good this offense is playing. In 3 weeks, they get a guy back who it's been a big story around the league, and in Porter. And you know, that whole story from, you know, what they've told us, and he just didn't want to practice, and just a bad guy. I mean, you know, from what they told us as an organization, and you read about, Matt, it seems like he was just a Raider. You know, he's just a guy who wanted to go out there, didn't want to practice. I'd never met a guy in the NFL that wanted to practice. I never wanted to practice.
You?
But to go and suspend him, you know, for 4 weeks, I mean, it was a tough situation for him, and, you know, giving him the opportunity to go out and seek, you know, a trade. Now with the trade deadline gone early in the week, he'll be back here in 3 weeks, and this offense could be a lot better with Jerry Porter back.
Tuiasosopo wants that first down, and you see Jerry Porter, he signed a big deal. He's in the second year of a 5-year deal, has a 4-game suspension after being kicked out of practice last Saturday for conduct detrimental to the team. He was inactive all season long because he and Art Shell got into it last February about whether or not, you know, was he going to be down in Florida? Was he going to be at the Oakland facility for practices? He wanted to be down in Florida. That's where he is right now.
And also Doug Gabriel. I mean, being traded to New England. That's another guy that, you know, receiver that would just make this core even better.
3rd and 1. The give to the veteran Zach Crockett down to the 20. We'd like to welcome those watching Minnesota and Seattle. Matt Devin along with Tony SIRAGUSA and the Oakland Raiders, the only team in the NFL without a win, but they showed up early, and Andrew Walter was sharp in the first quarter, and the Raiders with a 22-9 lead over Matt Leinart and the Arizona Cardinals. The Raiders driving once again. This time Marcus Tuiasosopo, the quarterback. Walter out because of a pulled hamstring. The give. Vargas trying to break it, tripped up and stopped at the 15-yard line. And this is an offense that didn't have Lamont Jordan early, but yet very, very effective. A flag on the play.
Offense number 66. 10-yard penalty. Beat first down.
Langston Walker.
Tell you what, even though they didn't have Lamont Jordan, that Zach Crockett, Rashard Lee, and Justin Vargas did a good job. And
career day for Andrew Walter. 263 yards.
Randy Moss, 7 receptions. Could have been easily 10 receptions.
Another frustrating job for Edgerrin James.
He's still struggling there with 13 rushes. I mean, they gotta go and do something with that offensive line and him. I mean, they need to go and maybe have an extra practice during the week or something. But just on 2 different planets.
Vargas trying to turn it up and square up the shoulders, and the clock will continue to run as Cooper and Hayes and Okafor were there. Take a look back, and Leinart was pressured early. Trudell Sands with the interception after Burgess got a hand on it. And then Rashard Lee, his first career touchdown over the top.
Yeah, that defense really did a nice job of helping this offense out today, putting the pressure. Moss, you see him right there with a nice catch.
And you like to see that. Guys coming from the edges. You live for that stuff.
I'll tell you what, Burgess just, what a great game. My player of the game today, Derek Burgess. I mean, putting the pressure on and keeping it on.
Randy Moss can smile now. His team up 22-9. With 1:48 to go in the 4th quarter. Edgerrin James, another frustrating afternoon for the Pro Bowler. This is not what he expected coming here to Arizona, and they're going to fall to 1-6 after winning an opening week against San Francisco. They're going to drop 6 in a row.
You know, very easily could have won two games last week against Chicago. That might have been the craziest game I've ever seen in my life.
Everybody wanted to ask, hey, how would they respond? Well, you see it here today. 9 points, 3 field goals. And you can say all you want about, hey, we're moving on and there's no hangover, there's no this. That was not the case here today. 1:25 to go here in the fourth quarter with the Raiders on top, 22-9. I'd like to welcome those of you who have been watching Washington and Indianapolis. The Oakland Raiders on the verge of their first win of the season. And the Cardinals, well, looks as though they're going to drop now 6 in a row. Under a minute remaining here in the fourth quarter. Today's game is being produced by Chuck McDonald and directed by Mike Roy. Our associate director is Bob Grossman. Broadcast associate is Mike Fox. The technical producer is Jeff Court. The studio show is produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The vice president of production is Jack Simmons. The senior producer is Bill Brown. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Well, the Raider Nation, they got what they were hungry for. They were
very
out
happy
since early this morning.
Well, there was even some guys here yesterday when we came for a little dry run in the parking lot. We saw the grills smoking out there. They've been eating very well.
Adrian Wilson, not what he thought.
A little banged up today.
And Matt Leinart is 0-3 now as a starter.
Congratulations to you too, Matt, on your first game. Great job today is doing the play-by-play. You want to congratulate him.
Appreciate it, Goose. And the Oakland Raiders, their first home win since October 23rd, 2005. They started 0-5, but you go all the way back. This is an organization that has dropped 11 in a row.
You know, you thought that they were going in the right direction with Leinart and Edgerrin James, but still more work to be done.
The last time they won was back on November 20th, Goose, of 2005 at Washington, 16-13. The give to Fargas. Fargas. And getting in the outside.
He's trying to get a touchdown. He got 11 seconds on the clock. All the guys are yelling at him right now. Stay in bounds there.
Fargas, 23 carries, 67 yards. And Marcus Tuiasosopo and the Oakland Raiders are going to come away with a victory.
You know, we really
Randy Moss, you know, he's talked so much, hey, you know, this quarterback, that quarterback. He had some drops today, but Andrew Walter was able to find him. And a big day for Randy Moss. Moss, 7 catches, 129 yards, and you see Andrew Walter getting his first W as a starting quarterback.
He is big. Look at him right there.
6'6".
That coach is 6 foot. And there's a guy right there, Zach Crockett, 12 years in the league. We got to give him some pub. I mean, him coming in today as the fullback. Lamont Jordan banged up a little bit, and he came out, had a great day. You got to have more fish fries for that team. And catfish is going to be on the menu from now on.
J.J. Arrington on the catch, but that'll do it. The Cardinals have lost 6 in a row. The Oakland Raiders win for the first time this season, and they end an 11-game slide dating back to November 20th of 2005. We'll be back with more right after these messages from Oakland, California. Matt Leinart still winless as a starter in the NFL. Back with more after this.
The Raiders got a victory.
Yeah, it's a big day for the Raiders. You could see.
Enthusiasm.
Well, I am enthusiastic.
They got one victory, right?
Did he ask me a question, you two? Did he ask me a question?
They got one.
You two you've had your time.
Big day for kickers.
And you know what? You've had your time now.
Forget about it, Kurt. It's really not important what I think about the Raiders.
You get one win, you don't even get to celebrate. All right, we'll talk about that later. But first, our